Good morning. Thank you for joining us today on the Off the Scale Unfiltered podcast and a super happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, ourselves included. Happy Mother's Day to us for being fabulous moms. So, what's your
Fat
plans
fit
for
moms.
today, Shauna?
I have too many.
You have
I
too
have too
many?
many and I don't know I think so. So I already John's already at the store right now going to, do all the shopping. He said he's going to be doing some of the meal prep today so I don't have to do as much. I want to walk the fur babies. I want to go on a bike ride cuz it's actually nice out. I definitely want to meal prep because that's important to me and I have to get my 10,000 steps in at least.
No doubt.
How about you?
The Leighton and his wife Heidi are coming over with her mom and dad. So we decided to host here because our house is almost completely back to normal again. It's
It looks
weird.
fabulous.
Thank you, darling. Yeah, it's very weird. It's surreal, and it's very echoey now
Yeah.
because this side of the house we've been living in with all of our furniture and our stuff in our bedroom had tons of totes, just all of our holiday totes.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, we were able to get rid of all of the totes and get everything organized in our new closet systems that are in the hallways. Feeling
Nice.
very good about that. Very good about that. So, yeah, so that's our plan. We're gonna make smash burgers, and I bought chips and I haven't eaten them all already, so that's a good sign, right?
Hey, that's a
Yes,
win.
that's a
That's a
win.
non-scale
It
victory.
is. Oh, and speaking of which, yesterday Brian and I worked out at the gym before I taught my class, and we're gonna make that a new weekly thing. I teach a mobility
Oh,
class on Saturday mornings, so but that's not till 10. So you have this whole wasted morning, you can't really do anything.
doing
So
whatever.
yeah, so we said, why don't we start going into the gym and getting a full body because they have a lot of toys that we don't have. And so we started
Yeah,
out
yeah.
with the glute hamstring developer. Oh my God. At any rate, yeah, that thing is brutal. But we're standing at the end of the workout where we went down to do overhead presses seated. And I'm not normally a big fan of overhead presses because most of us have turtle heads. So it's like jacking up our shoulders. So seated kind of forces you into better posture, in my opinion.
I always do seated. Yeah.
And I thought, I really need to strengthen my shoulders. So we start going, and I thought, oh my God, I was wearing a tank top. And I told Brian he needs to start wearing a tank top, not a wife beater, but a tank top. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror. And I know how this sounds. This is not, I always tell people to look in the mirror for their form, right? You can't tell if you're doing something right if you're not looking in the mirror. And I'm looking in the mirror and I'm thinking, whose shoulders are those? I know partly it's lighting. In the gym, they do have, different lighting than at home. And part of it is that
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
a tan, but part of it's I've been like working out, and using weights and strength
Yes.
training. And so I'm lifting and we're doing single arms. And I'm like, oh my God, my shoulders look so good. And I keep looking over at him. I'm like, this is how Shauna feels when she looks in the mirror. This is amazing. Like, if I could just,
It's like,
like, I
yes.
want to
I
see
love these
that.
shit.
I want to see my arms
Yes.
when they're chill. I want them to be like yours. Now, an ultimate goal would be completely like relaxed, looking like Stacy Sims. Have you seen
Yes.
her friggin' arm? I've never seen anything like it. The closest I've ever seen to that, which I'll never get there, I don't have her body type, it'll never happen, but is Linda Hamilton, who does have her body typing, right? So, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was a huge, and then the scale did show up this morning. So I'm almost breaking through my plateau because I have been in a mostly deficit for a week. And so I think just having that
Awesome.
break that we talk about, you take that little break and then your body goes, okay. And then you do it, you go back into a deficit and it's like, all right, let's do it. hmm Let's go. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I could do this now. You fed me properly. I was
yes,
gonna let's segue into that. So
yes.
yesterday I because it's Mother's Day. So like a lot of people are going out to eat and whatnot. Being that I'm a mom, like I preferred not to have to cook for the masses. So I hung out with my mom yesterday. Took her to Cracker Barrel. I don't like Cracker Barrel. I'm sorry. Don't like it at all.
There's nothing healthy there. Nothing.
Fucking hate it. So it just doesn't taste good. So I got the healthiest option that I could find. It was 2 eggs in a basket, which was sourdough bread. Instead of potatoes, I opted for tomatoes, and then there was something else on the side. turkey sausage instead of like regular sausage or bacon or whatever. So that was the best thing I could find. And then my friend took us out for dinner last night and, I got filet mignon or whatever. So I wanted my whole squirrel point was that I logged everything and I even had carrot cake afterwards. And it was
Mhm.
like for the day, it was like 2,600 calories or some shit like that, fucking far out shooting my fucking goal. And I was also under step because I was doing so much sitting, like just hanging out at dinner or hanging out with mom, because then I took her to where my daughter works and everything. So I didn't even hit 10,000 steps. One day is not going to fucking derail you at
Nope.
all. And sometimes you need that. So, like today, I'm back on track. I'm going to have my fucking sirloin for dinner. I'm meal prepping. I plan on having breakfast after this because I haven't eaten yet, and it'll be all good.
That's right. Yeah, one day is not a derail. And, that mindset that we've all gone through, and I mean, literally, I'm sure anybody who has tried to lose weight or get in shape or get
Yes.
fit, whatever it is you're looking at. We have one bad day, so we throw in the towel, make it make sense. One bad day, like, oh well, let's just throw in the towel and start again another day and put 10 more pounds on. It doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. It's completely counterintuitive to what your goal is. And you're going to let one day screw that up and just go, okay, I'm just going to keep being unhealthy. It doesn't make any sense that we do that.
Right, and
And we've all done it.
if you weigh yourself every day, because of all that food, I'm trying to, like, look to see how much protein I even had, because that's why I'm tracking mostly is to make sure I'm hitting protein. Okay, I had 176 protein.
Good
That's awesome.
God. Yeah. That's a little
Well,
bit
because, like,
awesome.
that's a little bit like, wow, okay, I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. Well, because like, I had my oatmeal, the breakfast was 2 eggs with the turkey sausage, right? I made sure I had my Greek yogurt with protein powder in there because, like, I didn't know what I was gonna choose for dinner, and then I wound up getting the filet tornadoes or whatever, so, like, that was, like, 8 ounces right there,
Right.
so I didn't realize that, and then, of course, carrot cake has some protein, I don't know, but
I think there's some
and it
butter
wasn't
in
and, like,
there.
I was trying to practice well, yeah, that's for sure, right? Like, they got my friends got the ribeye, and it had, blue cheese melted on it and stuff. I'm like, "I'm glad I didn't choose that one." And then plus, we know ribeye is good, but then I don't know, I don't prefer it. And then what was the other thing? And then my pea smelled because of the asparagus. I
Always.
fucking thought I was dying again. But the carrot cake, so I was trying to practice what Alex Parker does. Like, we had talked about a couple episodes ago where, he tried something and then he was just like, "I
Yeah.
don't like it."
Yeah.
Like, and he leaves it. Like, I was trying to do that, but then it was staring at me, and the carrot cake was at
Mm.
best. Like, it just was dense. It didn't have any walnuts in it, no raisins. That's kinda sad. I
Yeah.
didn't even see carrot fucking flakes in there. So, I'm like, "Was it really carrot cake? You just drew a carrot thing on there."
Right.
I don't know.
Really, I think most of us eat the carrot cake for the cream cheese frosting, but,
Oh, fuck yeah. It
that's
was very dense,
it's
like, it wasn't light. Like, if you have a Wegmans,
mhm.
their fucking carrot cake,
I'm sorry,
that's worth
all
it.
of Wegmans desserts, their French bread, not to get
So
off
good.
on the topic of freaking food again for our
Food
poor
again,
listeners are like, "Oh my god, shut up about the food." But their French bread
but food's
is
important.
the closest. And I know some people, especially people that are listening overseas are gonna, like, condemn me here, but it is the closest thing I've had to actually being, eating bread in France since coming back from our trip that Leighton and I took back in 2019. I said, "I can never find anything that's
Wow.
even remote." And even then, the Wegmans isn't, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 6 in that direction with French, like, literal French bread being a 10. It might be a 6,
Yeah.
maybe on a good day, but that's still better than the shit you buy at the store that calls itself French bread. It's like, baguette? What?
Yep.
No, no. No. It's nowhere. It's
No.
not even in the realm. It's not even in the realm. Okay. So today being Mother's Day, I want to give a shout out to my child, Leighton, who has done the challenges with us. He is a badass mural artist. You can look him up, LeightonScarboroughArt.com. He's on Instagram. He's amazing. He's doing art all over the place. But I celebrate him, even though today's Mother's Day. I wouldn't be a mom without him. And he's amazing. So
I don't know, you have fur babies.
I do have fur babies. I will always have me some fur babies. Brian said that the other day. He said, I think, I don't wanna talk about it, but when the time comes and, they're both gone, I just want a time where we don't have dog." And I just looked at him and I thought, "Do you even know me?" Like, that
Right?
literally is never, ever, ever gonna happen. Like, no, no. In fact, I was thinking maybe we should just have a little farm and have a bunch of dogs and never go anywhere. We'll just have dogs and donkeys and a baby cow, and yeah, that would be my life,
Well,
right? I'd be okay
that
with
sounds
that.
so cute.
It does, but
Little,
I like to
miniature
leave.
Highland fucking cows.
I know, right? With their little hair hanging in front of their face. Oh my
Yeah.
god. But and then I wanna give out a shout out to my own mom. She's been gone now for it'll be 6 years in December, and I specifically, I mean, I could have a whole show talking about all the things with my mom, good and bad, that what we learned from, but I learned a lot from her, what to do, what not to do, those types of things. But what stands out for me with my mom is that in her she had quit smoking, like, way before, way, like, 15, 20 years
Mhm.
before, and in her 60s, she went and took a cardio drumming class, and she loved it, and it was Drums Alive, I think. Somebody was teaching Drums Alive, which is the who made it, and she loved it, so she decided she wanted to become an instructor, and my mom had agoraphobia. So, growing up, I didn't know it, but she was terrified to go out in public. It caused her great anxiety. She was on, some pretty heavy duty Klonopin, I think is what she was on for a while, amongst many
Okay.
other things, I'm sure, because it was the '70s. So she would smoke to calm herself back then. I mean, it was just I didn't had no clue until I was well into adulthood that she suffered from this. And so she started doing Toastmasters back in probably the '80s to get more comfortable being around people and to build her confidence. And then fast forward, her whole life was about giving. So she did Catholic social services and senior planning. She worked for seniors. She did Meals on Wheels. She did all that kind of stuff while I was growing up. So here we are. She's in her 60s. She takes this class. She wants to become an instructor. This is huge, right? For her to want to do this. And I loved it because I thought, oh my God, she's like coming into my world now. I'd been an instructor at that for like 15 years. And so here she comes, like, I want to do this. Great. She was up with it, ate up. And we used to tease her to death. It was like, oh my God, she's ate up. She'd call and say, "Oh, I want you to hear my new playlist." And she'd do a recording of herself doing the thing. And we're just like, and I took a couple of her classes and I would give her some feedback like, "Hey, mom, you got to look at your audience. Don't stare at the ceiling and count." Oh, and so she got way more comfortable and it became a thing. And then it was first for women, found out about her from the lady who's at the Drums Alive, I guess, because they were so blown away by her enthusiasm. And they did a whole article on her. And so she was in First for Women magazine, and I think that was in 2018. Then the January after she passed in December of 2020. And that January, Women's World relaunched the same article because they're sister magazines. And they had no idea that my mom had passed. And they redid the article. And I was like, oh my God, she would have been beside herself with excitement because she wanted to
Yeah.
share. And it's a full circle moment here. So she wanted to share her success in overcoming agoraphobia and being able to get up in front of however many people at any given point. At one point, she did the State Fair of Michigan, got up on stage with a bunch of her little, peeps that do the class with her, and they performed a Drums Alive program for like 700 people or some insane amount of people.
Wow.
And so that was huge. I mean, and so her sharing that and saying, hey, look, you can be somebody who can barely make it out of the house and then eventually become someone who is standing in front of hundreds of people teaching and speaking and be comfortable with it and love it and be happy about it and excited about it. And then on top of that, she'd lost a good amount of weight for a while until the chemo started and all that.
Mhm.
And also she had successfully quit smoking. I mean, it caught up to her with the lung cancer. She had successfully, at that point, I think she had been quit for 25 years or close to it because she quit when Leighton was born. But anyways, her husband had all of her equipment and I was working at where I eventually became the wellness director. And I'd asked my boss at the time, hey, do you think the people here would like this? And she said, yeah, I think so. So I took all of mom's equipment, brought it down here and started teaching cardio drumming here. I had to call it that because I'm not Drums Alive certified. But yeah, and it became like People love it, and it's by far my favorite thing that I have ever taught. TRX is right behind it, but cardio drumming, hands down, the most freaking fun I have ever had teaching a class. So it's just this gift that she gave me that I've been able to give to others. And it's like she's still alive. You know what I mean? Like each week, like this week,
Yeah.
I'll do a whole mom's thing. And like, yeah. So anyway, I wanted to give my props to my boy and my props to my mama. So anyway,
That's
I'm done.
I love that story. That's awesome. I mean, so I'll give props to my daughter. I have to take her to work after this and everything, but like, she is definitely my sunshine. And then I got to hang out with my mom yesterday. I don't have like a story like that. Like I remember her like going through her own midlife crisis back in the 80s, and she was doing Jane Fonda and shit and Weight Watchers. Like I don't know, like there's just so many things that she has taught me over the years, like you said, good and bad. She quit smoking too when my daughter was born. So I'm hoping like that, doesn't wound up in anything else. But like, she's totally resilient, and she's just chugging along, keeps on going. And, we love our moms,
We do, we do.
Yeah.
So,
So
what else do
I'm
we
so
had to
excited.
we had to cut I could tell you're bouncing off the walls.
I know I can't.
Yeah, I had some things in my head that I thought, "Oh, I wanna make sure we touch on that,"
Well,
and
you
I
said that you wanted to touch on the moms thing.
Mhm,
So I was thinking this morning, the door was knocking again. I was thinking this morning how Um, as moms, a lot of times we are selfless with our time, where we should really start being selfish
mhm,
with our time.
mhm,
And I wanted to say that it's okay to take that time out, to block out that time for yourself, and it could be whatever kind of self care like it is. Like, is it just mentally taking fucking 5 minutes to just be you? Or, like, I think you should just totally go lift some fucking weights and bang out some iron and, get your frustrations out and shit. But, like, this is where you should really, come into your own empress fucking energy and be like, "This is what I need for me," you know?
mhm.
Fuck y'all.
Well, you made a good point this week. You were talking about how much you, and I'll quote you, "fucking love this lifestyle," right? And it's true. I've never seen anything like you, honestly, and I think some of our listeners who know you are gonna say the same thing. You are so committed to this, and
Yes.
nothing literally, like,
It
I
makes me feel
know.
good.
I'll text you in the morning and be like, "You wanna chat?" Knowing damn good and well you're working out. So it's like I'm giving you
Yeah.
like, I'm not just calling you because some days you're like, "I'm way too focused, I can't talk right now," or you're like, "Yeah, as
Yep.
long as you don't mind me talking between sets," you know? Which is cool, I get it, and you can be on speakerphone. But you make it such
Yeah.
a priority, and it is we talk about this all the time. It is a non-negotiable for you, literally a non-negotiable. So you look at your wellness and your fitness as part of like you got your weight training in the morning that is like
Mhm.
nothing stops you from doing it. And then you got your dog
Yep.
walking as long as the weather is good for it.
I know
So,
it needs to cooperate with all this rain.
all right, send some of
We
that
had
down
severe
here. We need a little
thunderstorms.
more.
Yeah.
But
Oh, really?
we had a little and then not I don't wanna have to water all this stuff I just planted, so I'd like a little bit more. But anyway,
Aw.
but yeah, I've never seen I mean, your commitment is amazing, and it's been so cool to watch you because even before we really connected, I would see you on the boards for the Burn the Fat, Feed the Muscle
On
challenges.
Sunday.
And I just always admired your enthusiasm and your support and how you encourage other people and just you were just like this ray of sunshine there, and just like somebody that everyone knew you could count on to pop on and say something, whether they knew you or not.
I thank you. I love and appreciate that, and, like, I think you took over that, and that's why I started calling you a bright vibrance, right? Because, like, you were spreading all the, vibrancy all over the boards, and, like, sometimes it's hard. I mean, like, it takes time.
It does.
And, like, this past challenge, I really didn't I found myself not focusing on it as much, and I don't know if it's because I was in a different mindset of maintenance as opposed to losing weight. I know for this upcoming challenge, so I don't know if the link is ready yet, but like on 5/16, Burn the Fat Beat of Muscle is hosting another summer challenge. It goes for 12 weeks. We're all doing it, and we're planning on making this part of the podcast so that you can follow along and see like how we are reaching our goals. And that's something I think we should touch on real quick
Yes, go for
is
it.
goal
Go
setting.
for it. Yes.
So basically, goal setting is, you know, I don't know. I have two different stances on it. Like I remember Tom had this one. What do you call it? It was an audio coaching, and I think that's what really clicked for me in 2024 when I actually placed first in the muscle and physique. It was the circle thing. Oh my god, I'm gonna fuck it up. But like basically, you know, you draw your first circle, and that's you, and then you draw
Isn't
another
that like
circle,
the Venn
and then
diagram?
I don't know.
I think that's
Yeah, I
it.
have no idea. And then like right, and then like the third circle, it's basically teaching you like, you know, you're containing yourself here when you could do so much more and you cannot be afraid of the change
Mhm.
that needs to happen in order to branch yourself out. And, you know, like that's why he says, you know, if you make a goal, set it big, right? What do you want to like achieve? Like and like sometimes your goals change too because I didn't think I could get here back 50, 80 pounds ago,
Right.
right? That wasn't my goal back then. But now my goals and values have changed along the way. So like now I want to be the fittest I have ever been. That's my value, right? And that's why I keep on doing what I'm doing. And like I've gotten to places where like I didn't working out 3 days a week was a lot, right? And then 4 days a week became easier. Now I'm doing 6 days a week of lifting. Now, can I do this forever? Probably not. And during the summer, I prefer to go outside and do a lot of more stuff. So I might cut it back to 5. But again, you still have that same set of values or goals. Like I still want to, you know, lean out or like build muscle or just be strong as fuck.
Mhm.
Fuck the skinny shit. I want to be strong as fuck. That's what I want. So that's why I like to eat.
Build that muscle.
Build the muscle, right? Like you talk about the arms. Like I see it right here.
Mhm.
I don't have good lighting right now, but I see it. But like I saw a couple of quotes from someone else and I thought they were really good. Like one said, I never thought I'd get to a place where I actually enjoy this process. And
Mhm.
I'm like, yes, fucking 100%. And she said, it doesn't feel like a diet or a phase. It just feels like who I am now.
Mhm.
That's where you want to fucking
Yep.
get to.
Yep.
Right? That's your maintenance right there, because like, it doesn't change.
Mm-mm.
Like, you when you end these 12 weeks with whatever goal it is, and it could be a half a pound a week that you wanna lose, it could just be to maintain, or, like, maybe you wanna hit a new PR by the end of the 12 weeks, whatever it is, like, maybe your first pull-up, and then you're working on it every day. Think of something that you want to do by the end of the 12 weeks, because what else are you gonna fucking do,
Right.
right?
That's it. Look at it
Yeah,
long term because we're not
yeah,
it's health and wellness and strength and exercise. It needs to just be part of your life. Like anything else, you should be flossing
yep,
your teeth. You know what? You should be getting in 10,000 steps a day. That's it.
yes.
You know, and
I missed that one, but
right?
yes.
So, but
Yesterday was bad.
it just but that's your overall goal. So if you averaged it out, your average is probably 15,000 steps a day. You know what I mean? Even if you have one day where
Yeah,
you only got 7. It's the average and the
it's the
consistency, and
average.
again, that's the same thing when it comes to the scale. If you're someone who feels better with a certain number on the scale, which many of us do, and I will say that I'm included in that, it's your
Are you still
average.
concentrating on that?
I'm
Yeah.
just super well, I'm happy today. Got I'm at 135.2. I just wanna be anywhere from 130 to 135 is I'm gonna call it a safety net for me, because I think as
Okay.
I'm building more muscle, that just looks better, whereas before, I mean, I sat at 130, 132 for like 8 years, 7 or 8 years. And when I look back at those pictures, I'm little, but I don't have a whole lot of muscle. I mean, I'm sure I had some muscle, but not like I do
Yeah.
now. I want my arms when I'm just standing there, I want my arms to look like yours. You know what I mean? That's what I
Right.
want.
That's
I just
that's
wanna
what I want too.
I just wanna be
Like
I wanna be strong.
I want to be strong, right? Like I want to, like you mentioned before, like, you know, when I'm standing here, I want to see
And you
this
can.
as opposed to me flexing. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So what is like my goal for these next 12 weeks? And yes, I'm still in a challenge with the other thing, but I'm like literally going from one challenge to the next. What will your goal be for 12 weeks? Cuz like for me now, I'm not really I don't know if I'm in a deficit. Like I've been My weight has been maintaining. It's, like, pretty much here, like, and even yesterday after 2,700 calories, the scale went up, but the body fat dropped. It could be shit, poo in there, but there's definitely food in there too, right, from
Right.
yesterday. So, like, you gotta take that into consideration. So I don't care that the scale went up because it's always being the same. And I told my team and I told you guys last week, fucking hold me accountable when I try to change my Libra mind and say, "Oh, well, maybe I want to go into this." No, Shauna, you said
Mhm.
you're
I'll
gonna
be on
keep
you.
it here.
I'll be on you
Yes,
like I
like,
always
cause
am.
like, it's working for me right now. Like, during the summer, I might go down to 5 and go to a bro split, but right now, I'm gonna keep the 6-day lifting, the push-pull legs, until at least June 1st. And then I'll take a deload and then see where I'm at?
Okay.
So now what is your goal gonna be for 12 weeks?
So mine's tricky because there's a part of me that wants to kind of follow this whole the Stacy Sims lifts heavy shit kind of concept, but I don't want to just focus strength. I do want some hypertrophy. So I have to sit down and design myself something that maybe one of my sessions is a strength session that incorporates like you said, like a squat,
Have
a
you looked at
deadlift.
the Have you looked at, Tom's programs? So, like, if you're a member of the Inner Circle, you get, access to all
Oh
his
yeah, I've
programs,
seen some of his
and of
stuff
course, you can
too.
always
I
message him.
tend to
He has those hybrids.
Yeah, I tend to kinda morph my own thing. I do like the 5
Yeah.
by 5 stuff, but I want more hypertrophy in the other sessions. So my goal like, right now, if I'm lucky, I'm getting 3 sessions in a week, but realistically, lately, because of all the shit we've been doing around the house and the gardening and cleanup and all that stuff, it's been 2, consistently 2.
Uh-huh.
So I would like that to be at least 3 and then have 1 session focus on strength. So, like, doing row, chest press, squat, and a deadlift. That's it. 5 by 5
Okay.
strength, looking at, really gaining that. And then the other 2 to 3 sessions focusing more on hypertrophy using a lighter load, higher rep kind of, and I say higher rep, I'm like 12, 10 to 12. Ryan
Right.
does considerably more. But now, for those that may not know this, and I think we touched on it before, the a lot of your professionals are having to backtrack on what they swore was true back in the day. And I think this is what happens with science and learning no matter what. You're always open to the new research that comes out.
Yeah.
But it used to be that higher reps, low weight would not cause hypertrophy, but they do show up, anywhere up to 30 reps. It's basically you're taking it to failure or close to failure. I
Yeah.
like to leave 2 in the tank so that my form is always really good. But that's, I think we could really get into the nitty-gritty of what works and what doesn't work and it's all personal. What the hell are you going to do consistently? Then freaking do that. Just do that. Do lift some shit in whatever way you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be structured. Just lift some shit, move it around, and, make sure you're
But
using
I
good
think it
form. But yeah.
And I think it takes time. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of, I've seen Instagram. I haven't gone on TikTok in forever, but, like, a lot of people are coming out now, like, you can't buy muscle,
Mm,
but you can buy skinny, right?
right.
And I'm like, "Okay." And it's true because, like, this has taken me a couple of years, like, and I don't know, like, maybe on our Instagram, I'll post, like, I had a before and after that I looked back 2 years ago of, like, one of my back pictures, and then I compared it to today, and I'm just like, I weighed less then,
Mhm.
and you could see more muscle now. You know
Right.
what I mean? So you it's just a lot of trial and error. If you find something that you love, fucking do it,
Yes.
right? And even like you were saying with like the whole hypertrophy thing, like I didn't think I would like the shorter rest that I'm doing now. Like I'm doing like 60-second rest on a lot of things. And I lift lighter weights for sure, but she throws in those compound movements and I'm still seeing strength gains even though like on the bigger compound lifts, it'll be like 120 seconds for a rest period, which is like 2 minutes. That's proper, especially if you're going heavy on shit. Like my hip thrust, I'm up to 255 now. But she's not throwing those in there every week either. She's throwing in other ancillary shit that's causing hypertrophy.
Right.
And then she'll throw in, okay, let's go for strength now and see like how that's doing. So you might find that And like a lot of times, like what I was doing before was like a mix of strength and hypertrophy. Like I know I was talking to Mark the other day. He was saying that like when he comes back from his trip, he's gonna go into like a barbell training thing. He's just like, I want to get strong as fuck right now. He's just like, I want to do all this stuff. And then even the other Mark, he's doing hypertrophy. I was talking Rochelle and Ursula. They're doing something different. They're like, they're already starting to formulate what their plans are for the summer, right?
Mhm.
And you got to start thinking about that now,
Right.
right? Summer's almost upon us. It's never too late.
No. No, and I think
Yeah,
one of the biggest things is people have to realize they don't have to overthink it. Just do something. Just start doing
just do something.
something, you know? If you're using light weights, fine, but don't stop at 8 reps or 10 reps. If you're using a light weight, keep going, and you can
Yeah,
follow, someone online and just, it's helpful to be by a mirror if you can, if you're just learning form and all of that. And honestly, guys, it's worth it to hire a decent trainer to just help you work on form. They don't have to lead you through sets. They just need to teach you how to move the weight properly. And think about all the places that you spend money. I was talking to someone recently and they were kind of fussing about their money situation and how expensive things are. And, oh, I want to do that, but I can't afford it. And then they told me that they every day that they go to work, they stop at Starbucks and they get a triple espresso with extra caramel on ice, venti. And I'm like,
that's like a $10 drink at least.
uh-huh. And I'm
All
thinking,
the add-ons.
that's $50 a week. A session
Yes.
with a trainer would be probably 50 bucks. Honestly, depending on where you live, it might be cheaper. I charge 40. So, you could
Yeah.
have a session with a trainer to take you through, movement. You do that once a week for a
Exactly.
month to learn the basics: push, pull, squat, deadlift. That's it. Learn how to do a row, learn how to do a chest press, learn how to do a squat, and learn how to do a deadlift, which deadlift kind of leads you to squat. So, not, I could do it for you, for crying out loud. Get with me. We'll do a video session. I'll help you. It just,
Yes. There you go.
but seriously, it's slight tweaks and modifications that help you move better, because I can't tell you how many people say, I can't do that because of my back. I'm afraid to do that because of my knee. There are ways around all of it, but the most important thing is your back and your knee are screwed if you don't start lifting weights. You have
If
got to
you
start
don't
lifting
do it,
weights. You gotta. Otherwise, people,
100%.
I will video record what's going on at the nursing home this afternoon. Seriously, it is devastating. Freaking devastating. And again, I don't want to
Yes.
harp on that, but that's like literally where Brian's mom is. She's now bedridden because she didn't move when
Mm.
she could. She didn't control her nutrition when she could. And again, I understand addiction. I 100% believe that she has a literal food addiction, but there are people that can help you with that. And so if that's truly
Yes.
you, and that's where the GLP ones, I think, help. But at the same time, you have got to get into the head and figure out why you keep doing this, why. And you
Yeah.
have to freaking move. You have to move. Get off your computer, get off your phone. And you actually were talking about something earlier that made me think of it, that as moms, we need to take time for ourselves, but also as
Mhm.
moms, and I'm talking kind of to the younger ones, put your fucking phone down. Don't walk your baby in the park and stare at your phone. Make eye contact with your child. Make eye contact and stop staring at your phone. Put it away. Turn it off. Turn off the notifications. Have one-on-one
Yep.
quality time with your kids, because they see this. I am in the store and I'm watching these moms walk around with their phones in front of their face. And the kid is like, Mom, hey, did you see that? Look at Mom, there's a flower. Or Mom, look, the kid says it 10 times. And I know, I've been there. You can't get that shit back. So you've been that mom where you're
Yeah.
just like, oh my God, I can't take it anymore. I don't want to listen to this shit anymore. But we didn't have the phone thing going on when we were raising our kids. You got to put your phone down. Be present. Be
Right.
there for your kids. Be there. You can't get it back.
Go in the bathroom for 5 minutes,
That's right. Anyway, well,
you
listen,
know?
I actually have our company is coming in like 3 hours, 2 hours,
Oh,
actually.
you got lots to
So
do.
I got a lot to do in 2 hours. So anyway, but I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day. You certainly deserve it. And I'm so glad that
Thank you.
we are connected and sharing this morning together. Yay, yay. And everybody have a great day, whether you're a mom or not a mom, or you have fur babies, or you're a dad supporting a mom, or You're somebody who
Yes.
has a mom, which is all of us, right? Now I've covered the gamut. I've covered it all. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great
Have
day.
that cocktail or mocktail and fucking just enjoy hopefully the sunshine that's in your backyard, you
Yes,
know?
it is right now. It is right now. All right, guys. Love
Yes.
y'all. Thanks so much. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.